Hi everybody, this is Emily Metcalf with GVSU Libraries, and I'm going to show you how to utilize the database Access Physiotherapy. To get started, you need to get into the library. From the GVSU website, you can click on the little building icon here. And from here we have two ways to access Access Physiotherapy. The first is by selecting the Databases button under our big search box, and scrolling down until you see Access Physiotherapy. The other option is to get there from the Physical Therapy Subject Guide. You can click on the Subject Guides button under the search box and scroll on down until you see Physical Therapy. Clicking that will reveal a drop-down menu, and we'll click Physical Therapy one more time. This guide has lots and lots of useful resources. There's a bunch of library information, other guides you might find useful, and my contact information in case you have any questions about Access Physiotherapy or anything else library related. To get into Access Physiotherapy, we're going to go to the Articles and Databases tab. And the very first database listed here is Access Physiotherapy. So we'll click that now. Now, Access Physiotherapy is produced by McGraw-Hill. That's a publisher who produces probably some textbooks you're pretty familiar with. And you can see right here that they highlight some of those textbooks. Right above those, you have the option to search through all of Access Physiotherapy. Conducting a search here will search through all of those textbooks, as well as drug reference tools, medical encyclopedias, case studies, all sorts of cool things. In this video, I'm just going to go along the menu at the top of the screen, and we're going to jump into each of these resources so you can get familiar with the tool. We're going to start with books. Like I said, McGraw-Hill produces many textbooks. If you know what kind of subject you're interested in, you can scroll down here, check out the menu on the left side of the screen, and select the subject you want. Or you're welcome to just browse through all of the textbooks here in the middle. You can see that there are a wide range of topics, including patient skills, anatomy, and even medical Spanish. Clicking on any of these titles will take you to a table of contents. From here, you can click the little plus signs next to each header and dive into the section. Each chapter gives you the text of the chapter, as well as options up at the top to download the chapter, share it, get a citation, or search through the book. You can annotate the chapter if you'd like to, but remember that you're going to need to have an Access Physiotherapy account to do that. These are free to make, and you're welcome to do so. It will actually improve the usage of this database, as you'll see later on. So back up to the top of the database, under Quick Reference, I'm going to click the drop-down menu to show you that there are two options here. One is Quick Answers, which is kind of like a medical encyclopedia, and the other is Outcome Measures Toolbox. Let's start with Quick Answers. Quick Answers functions just like an encyclopedia. You can browse through topics, you can check out the alphabet at the top to limit the results, or you can do a search for any condition you're interested in. I'll do a search now so that we can see what one of these entries looks like. Once I've done a search, it will give me a few options for what it thinks I'm looking for. I'm going to click on the top one there, and from here we have the same options we did when we were looking at that book chapter a minute ago. I can scroll on down and I can see all different sorts of headings that I might be interested in. Clicking the plus sign will expand the section. Up at the top, I have the opportunity to review the sections, download the chapter, share it, get a citation, search through the whole text of the book, or again, annotate. One important thing to note here is that at the very bottom section, we have additional resources and a references section. This lets you know where this encyclopedia is getting its information, and it helps when you go on to cite this if you're doing case reports or if you're presenting any of this information to an audience. Scrolling back up to the top again, we're going to see the Quick Reference Outcome Measures Toolbox. Outcome measures can be tricky to find in other databases, so Access Physiotherapy tries to put them all in one place for you. Just like with the textbooks, we have subjects along the side that we can select. And we're provided with various assessment tools. Clicking on any of these links We'll bring up the assessment tool so you can check it out, see if it's going to be useful for you. I'll exit out of this assessment, and from here you can continue to browse through your options, check out other assessments, or we can come back up to the top and check out the next tool. The next tool is drugs, and this is essentially a dictionary-like tool. You'll see if we scroll down, you have the opportunity to browse through various drugs. You can use the search box to search if you know a particular drug, or you can use the alphabet along the top here, just under the box, to narrow down the drugs listed. Once you've found a drug that you're looking for, you can click on the title, and from here we can learn all about the chosen drug. You'll see we have images, we have names, alerts, pronunciation, brand names, all sorts of information is provided on this initial page. If you need to dive deeper into any aspect of this drug, you can check out the options here at the top, which include things like usage, interactions, information for pregnant or lactating people, and patient education. Selecting any of these headings will take you to a new page where you can learn more. After the drug dictionary, we have a multimedia option. Selecting the drop-down menu gives you a whole bunch of different places that you can go to access various types of multimedia. I'll just click on videos, and from here I can scroll on down and see the options available. You'll see that under videos, this has started us in the ankle and foot section, but over here on the left side of the screen, we have lots and lots of different subjects that we can dive into. The multimedia section also includes things like lectures, NPTE review, and even some interactive tutorials. So if you like to learn in various modalities, check out this tool. After multimedia comes cases. This is one of my favorite tools in Access Physiotherapy. When we click on the drop-down menu, you'll see we have all sorts of options here. Some of these cases have been pulled from textbooks, which provide case studies. Others designated as the physical therapy case files are produced by Access Physiotherapy specifically for this database. I'll dive into one of those now. From here, you can scroll through the various cases available until you find something that you're interested in. And clicking on that case brings you to the case file. You can read about the case, you can move through the various sections of this case file, and I recommend you pay special attention to the questions and the comprehensive questions within this case. Here, you have an opportunity to read some questions and respond to them. This is really your opportunity to practice what you've been learning in classes. After cases, we have some study tools, including review questions and a simulated NPTE exam. I'm going to click on review questions first to show you that these review questions are actually pulled from all of the different textbooks that are contained within this database. If we click on one, you'll see we have the option to go to the book or start a random quiz. Some textbooks even allow you to create a custom quiz, selecting questions from the various sections within the textbook. I won't get into all of this now, but you should check this out whenever you feel like you need a little extra review on a topic. Next, under Study Tools, we have the Simulated NPTE exam. Here you can review any section of the NPTE exam you'd like. You might need to create that Access Physiotherapy account before you can actually take one of these quizzes, but I think it's worth it to make sure that you're comfortable when it comes time to take the exam. Back up at the top, next to Study Tools, we have the NPTE Review Prep section. And this section just highlights those two tools. We've got the NPTE simulated exam, and it also pulls out a review book, if that's a better way of learning for you. The last two sections at the top of the screen are the PTA course and board review, and a section for instructors using these tools in the classroom. You don't really need to worry about those sections too much. So that's Access Physiotherapy. We checked out the books, we looked at some of those medical dictionaries, we looked at the drugs, the videos, we saw some of those case studies, and we also checked out the study tools and the test prep. I hope you find these tools useful, and if you find anything in here that I didn't cover that you think would be useful for the next class, let me know. Remember that at any time you can reach out to me about Access Physiotherapy or anything else library related on the home page of your subject guide.